know I was trying to give you a landscape orientation, but YouTube is still being stupid. But hello, guys, and welcome back to the second live stream of the day. I wanted to bring you along just for a few moments here at Fort Barrancas and the Naval Air Station of Pensacola, Florida. We're at the position of the Advanced Redoubt, which is right behind me at the main entrance. And as you can see, well, this position is closed, but we're able to see some very neat stuff from the outside of this fortification. And I just want to take you along for a quick live stream and kind of show you this advanced redoubt position. You will see this again in this episode of History Saver 1941 that we are filming here from the advanced redoubt position that you see behind me here at Fort Barrancas at the Naval Air Station of Pensacola, Florida. Unfortunately, we can't go inside because this position's closed. The fort was open. I don't know why that is, but we're able to see the major features from the outside of this advanced redoubt position that I wanted to show you. So just a brief history of what this is that you're seeing right behind me right now. And I'm going to get the camera off me and show you this position. So what you're looking at is the advanced redoubt, or what is known as the advanced redoubt of Fort Barrancas. It's part of the 3rd System Fortifications that was established here along the Gulf Coast area, along with around 42 other 3rd System fortifications just before the Civil War, after the War of 1812. Now, a lot of people want to know, well, why is it called 3rd System Fortifications? Well, there's a few reasons. 1st System Fortifications were the forts established during the Revolutionary War. 2nd System Fortifications, forts established during the War of 1812 period. 3rd System Fortifications, the way you have to think of it is like this: Revolutionary War, War of 1812, and then the American Civil War. 3rd System Fortifications, American Civil War. But they are generally put, as I have found, in a lot of the same locations as 1st and 2nd System Fortifications. Here at Barrancas was no different. The Spanish had a fortification here at Fort Barrancas. You had a water battery that's still in existence now that you'll see on the episode, basically called Battery de San Antonio, or Battery San Antonio. And that is what you see at Barrancas now. But one of the cool features of Barrancas is this position, the advanced redoubt position, which we're about 500-600 yards from the main fortification of Fort Barrancas that was built on top of those original Spanish works as a 3rd System fortification. This advanced redoubt position was put here in place to prevent land attacks from this area of Pensacola Bay and Pensacola Naval Yard. Now, if you look right out in front of us, you'll see the main works, counterscarp, parallels, but you'll see all the building technology that went into this. Now, out of everywhere I've been, this is one of the best examples of what I'm about to show you. When enemy troops try to take one of these fortifications, just imagine you're an enemy troop. You're trying to take this fort. You're coming to the area that you see before us now. You have the main portion of the advanced redoubt right here. You will notice the loopholes up high on the side. Then out front, you'll notice kind of a counterscarp. You'll notice loopholes going through those casemates, and they're pointing to the middle as well. Then in front, let me get my hand out the way so you can see, you've got other loopholes covering the way pointing directly to me. If you're an enemy troop trying to advance on this fortification, trying to take it, this is what you're going to have to run into as far as gunfire. They have literature here that is a very accurate depiction of what will happen. You'll have gunfire coming down on you from these upper loopholes. Gunfire coming down on you from these lower loopholes. And then gunfire penetrating out this way. And also mixed in with this would be cannon. You look at that now, and after looking at that illustration, you can clearly see why it wasn't a good idea to try to take one of these fortifications. And all upon this wall you see here would have been men standing with muskets, ready to take you down before you ever had a chance to get inside of this fortification. This is the reason why I love 3rd System fortifications, is because of the construction and the ideas that went in behind building these things. They are so cool to stand in today and see how they were constructed. everything in this thing had a purpose. We may not know what all of those purposes were now, but everything had a purpose. And it is very cool to see this preserved here. And I only wish we could go inside, but unfortunately we can't. And this interpretive plaque here tells you a little bit about what you're looking at. And you can see this same area that you're looking at right now, right here, of what it once looked like before restoration. Overgrown, weedy, the walls are cracking. You can see where that's been repaired. Yeah, so it had fallen into disrepair. But along with Fort Barrancas, see, we're right here, the advanced readout position. Let's zoom you out a little bit. Advanced readout, that's where we are right now. We were just at Fort Barrancas filming an episode for you guys. Across Pensacola Bay is Fort Pickens, and then over here you have Fort McRae. Fort McRae is no longer intact anymore. It's gone. There's nothing left of it. It was built with more bricks than Fort Barrancas was. Fort Barrancas is still standing. Fort McRae is not. It's kind of mind-boggling. Fort Pickens is still standing. It's had some issues as of late, but it's still there. And then this is your firing range in 1840. Fort Barrancas can fire this way, this way, this way. Fort Pickens, out towards the Gulf of Mexico, out towards the opening of Pensacola Bay, and back towards Fort Barrancas. Fort McRae can fire out to the Gulf of Mexico, fire into Pensacola Bay, fire directly across the channel of the Fort Pickens. Fort Barrancas has got all of this covered. This is the area we're focusing on in this episode. Later in the episode here on History Saver, we'll be hitting Fort Pickens as well. Did someone say my name? Oh, first, right. Readout Productions. What's up, buddy? Yes, we said your name. But this is your jam here, readouts. This is basically the area of where we are right now and what the strategy of the defenses here actually were. And this advanced readout was put in place here to help protect any attack coming from this Bayou Grande area, and also any land attack from anywhere around this area. And as you can see, you did not want to get into this area of the advanced readout because you're going to come up under some very, very nasty gunfire. This readout is finally preserved. Yes, it is. It was not in the beginning, as you see in the pictures here. It was overgrown. It was falling into disrepair. The National Park Service has stepped in, and now it is looking like this. As you can see behind me, we are on the Naval Air Station of Pensacola, Florida, hauling the Blue Angels, and traffic is backing up. But you could come here now. This was closed for a very long time. Let's flip the camera back around. This was closed for a very long time. You couldn't come here for a total of around 2.5 years because of the unfortunate events that took place here on the base here at Pensacola, Florida. And it was a very bad situation. So they closed down the base and all of the museums for a total of about 2.5 years. And you couldn't visit these places. But now you can, as of just the past few months. They've reopened. You can visit them. I don't know why this advanced readout position isn't open, other than I know the National Park Service here in the area is struggling for manpower, and they are struggling to even keep the doors open on the weekends. And the only time you're really able to visit Fort Barrancas, as I've been seeing, is on the weekends. We just got kind of lucky today. We're supposed to meet a historian friend of ours. Our lines got crossed this morning. I was here a little bit late, and I think I went to the wrong spot. But I think they were actually here in this advanced readout position. I was at Fort Barrancas, but it's okay. We went ahead and filmed the episode. I wish we could have got historian John Weaver on, but we did not. But we will be getting him in a later episode. He does have more tours this week. If you're in the area, you can tour Fort Pickens with him, and I advise you to look that up and do so. But I just wanted to come on here and show you the advanced readout position. We just wrapped up filming what little bit we're going to do here for the episode in this position. A lot of what we did is at Fort Barrancas. So yeah, we just wrapped up filming here at the advanced readout position, and we are about to leave NAS Pensacola, Florida. I'm going to get some lunch. Actually, I think on the menu for today is Ukrainian food. So I'm going to go by, do that, and then run errands and get ready to leave for New York later this week. Guys, thank you so much for the outpouring of love and support over the past week. Understanding about videos kind of falling behind a little bit because last week was a very hard week. And I'm just hitting the ground today, ready to go. My Papa's funeral was yesterday, and then all that's behind us. So we're going to move forward, because if I would have stopped, he would put a boot up my butt. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Hitting the ground running today. We're here today, New York later in the week. We'll see you guys from New York and from Savannah on the next episode of History Saver. Until then, keep preserving history, stay safe, and come visit these places. And don't forget to visit Project Past, the History Underground, address in Gettysburg, History Fits, Readout Productions, my buddy in the chat right now, one of my favorite channels to watch, and so many other people that I have failed to name. It's hard to keep them straight in your head because every night I go on a YouTube binge. But yeah, pretty cool position. Come visit it for yourself. While you're here, you may even see the Blue Angels. So we'll see you later, guys. See you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining me for this quick live stream. We'll see you then.